YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Paul Harris, aka Crazy Off. Hey, guess what? It's your first time tuning in. Go ahead, hit the doggone subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I post some new content. Uh, had one of my former soldiers called me today, right? And as always, it's always a spectacular conversation. It really is. Matter of fact, anytime when I talk with any of my former soldiers or uh, former NCOs, it's always a good conversation. Earlier today, matter of fact, I was talking to one of my other battle buddies because it's just for the simple fact that here it is. I've been retired some 4 years and some change, and sometimes I actually really get that urge to actually really want to actually really try to go back in because I always felt like that I didn't leave it. It's something that I didn't leave all of it out on the battlefield like I should have. And it's only because of and I hate bringing up prior relationships, but I just feel like that when you get people that just hang on because they know that you bringing in that money, right? That they're gonna hang around, and so a lot of times you shut shit down probably earlier than what the fuck you should have, right? But that's but again, I'm not actually really trying to focus on that right now. Uh, I'm calling this particular show "History Repeats Itself," and then I put in 1991 to up until the present day. And it's just for the simple fact, if you actually really stop and look at what the fuck happened in 1991. Now, a lot of people that are actually really going to watch this, 9 times out of 10, you probably wasn't even born in 1991. So basically, every time that you watch the news and you see what's going on in the Ukraine, right? And you wonder why the doggone gas prices and everything else is like going through the roof right now. Just know that this shit has happened before. It happened in 91, right? Saddam Hussein did the exact same shit what Putin is doing right now. But just know this. They got Hussein's ass out of there. And guess what? They finna get Putin's ass out of there. All right? Or at least it's what the powers that be or the powers that shouldn't be are allowing for everybody to actually really think about. They're like, okay, we get Putin out the way, then okay, everything's gonna be good. Or it could be just for the simple fact that, hey, guess what? They get Putin out of there, right? And then this is nothing more than for a new army installation, or this is nothing more than what a new installation, whether it be Army, Navy, Air Force, or Marines, or a combination of all four. I mean, comedian Eddie Griffin said it best: everywhere we land, we don't leave. We got shit in Germany, Korea, Saudi Arabia, right? You name it. Like I say, everywhere we land, we don't leave. And then here's the deal. I look at it like this, right? just left Afghanistan, right? So for the most part, like I said, you need that new military installation where we can actually really climb the mountain and plant the flag, right? So basically, this is all what the fuck this is, right? Because I look at it like this, right? And again, I said this a few years back, right? Where that if you actually really look at the history of this country, and that this country goes to war every 10 years, damn near. So let's actually really let's go back for those y'all that actually really want to go back and look at the one show that I did. I call it a history lesson, right? But here's the deal. You look at the first two World War, you look at World War I, World War II. And a lot of y'all that actually really call this World War III for whatever fucking reason, right? But just know that World War III was the Cold War. And it's just, and then you have to ask yourself the question of like, okay, well, how many countries have to be involved for it to be a war, a world war? That's what they actually. That's what you have to ask yourself, right? So let's actually really stop it. So let's look at this like seriously now. You got World War I, World War II. You got the Cold War, right? Then you had the Persian Gulf War, when a lot of countries was involved, right? And then what happened, motherfucker, 10 years later? The Twin Towers come down again. A lot of motherfuckers was involved. A lot of countries was involved, right? So I'm trying to just show y'all how far behind the power curve you motherfuckers are. Y'all motherfuckers hollering World War III, but look, that shit was in '89. It ended in '89, and then not even 18 months later, what happens? The Gulf War happens. Right? So again, you gotta ask yourself, okay, well, how many countries does it take for it to be actually to be classified as a world war? Because when you say world war, I'm looking at everybody is involved. Everybody that got motherfucking nuclear weapons or some kind of weapons, some type of army, right? Then yeah, because you get some countries that be like, you know what? That ain't none of my business. But what I'm saying is this. Every 10 years, this country goes to war. Right when the economy ain't shit. Now to go back, but before I go back, and I said this in a previous show. It was, I want to say about 2 years ago, right? Well, I was back in Texas, and I was sitting out there in the garage, and I was telling y'all then. I was saying, hey, look, World War II is over with. Bomb the shit out of Germany. Bomb the shit out of Japan. So they too busy rebuilding. So guess who's going to be the front runner? You got the jobs. You didn't have to worry about shit for a while, right? So and then just think about it. They always should have been hot about that the husband can go out, he get married, right? He can motherfucking pay the house note, car note, buy groceries, right? Clothes, the whole nine, right? and still be able to do a 2-week vacation, go anywhere and everywhere he wanted to go with his family. So again, you gotta ask yourself, okay, well, how is that possible? Well, goddamn it, I just told you. Because like I said, you bombed the shit out of Germany, you bombed the shit out of Japan. So it's gonna take them a while to actually really get back on their feet. So then, once those countries they get back on their feet, real good. Now you got something to worry about. So here come these so-called fortune tellers. Oh, the end of the world is gonna end such and such a time on such and such a day, right? And so with all that is going on, right? They were like, okay, well, what is the one thing that we can do that can actually like really keep the American people in debt? So they come out with the credit card. Buy it now, pay later. But mind you, right? And this is what I was telling my former soldier earlier. You buy now and pay later. But here's the deal. You hear that the possibility of a war that may happen. Yeah, ain't nobody fighting. It's almost like what Chuck D said, you know, the war may be over, but the feud may be over, but the fussing ain't. Right? So they too busy looking at us, we too busy looking at them. So the fear of threat, the fear of war is always there. So, but like I said, right? When you get motherfuckers acting really, but they try to predict shit. So guess what the fuck the average motherfucker gonna do? Those of us, those that actually really got the money, they're like, hey, guess what? We can buy it now and we can pay it later. But then again, when these motherfuckers started putting that shit in your head, hey, look, you probably not ain't gonna be here past next Tuesday. So guess what the fuck you do? You go out and you max that motherfucker, you max that credit card, the credit cards out. And then when next Tuesday come around, you're like, oh shit, ain't shit happened. I got all this motherfucking money I gotta pay back. Okay? So let's fast forward this shit some 30 years later. President Trump or Donald Trump gets elected or selected, right? The economy is at an all-time, or unemployment is at an all-time low. Now, if it's a lie, they motherfucking telling it. And then there's a lot of motherfuckers that are sitting up here and holler about, okay, well, oh, that was President Obama. He did that. Regardless of who the fuck did it, just know that the shit happened. Right? So, somebody somewhere says, oh, hell no. We want to keep y'all in debt. So guess what happens? Y'all already know what the fuck happened. A bullshit plan was put in place. And the grid, for all intents and purposes, got shut down worldwide, right? So what happens is this. Somebody said, okay, is this what we really want? And they said, yeah, this is what the fuck we really want. But everybody broke, though. Everybody, can't nobody go to work or whatever. So you come out, you throw a couple of dollars here, you throw a couple of dollars there, right? Not really knowing that you got to pay this shit back. Okay? So now you got an economy that's in turmoil, right? And then you still got motherfuckers worried about, well, you still got people be, the debate is still going on. Like, okay, well, what the fuck do I actually really need to wear? Do I need to wear this, or do I need not to wear this? Because a lot of motherfuckers be like, okay, well, if I wear it, it's gonna cause problems. But if I don't wear it, it's most definitely gonna cause problems. But at the same time, though, right? You gotta look at it like this, right? If you're strong enough, then you really ain't gotta worry about what the fuck you wear. Okay, so in either case, it still doesn't change the fact that it has happened. The economy ain't about shit. So guess what? We gonna kick some shit off. We gonna let the bigger guy try to take over the smaller guy. But in the process, I'm gonna try to drain the shit out of everybody else. But the thing is almost like, motherfuckers think, okay, well, I'm over here on planet so and so. I got all of this and you don't. But the thing about it is this: we're all on the same planet. So if you want to actually really take your balls or take your toys and go the fuck home, then guess what? Go home. Do that. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. Where did you get the motherfucking toys from? Who made them? Who taught you how to play with those toys? And who actually really said, hey, guess what? In 10 years, you need to come see me. That's what the fuck you gotta ask yourself, right? So this is what the fuck all this is. This is the same shit that happened 30 plus years ago, right? But then again, it's just like what I said, right? A lot of people that's gonna watch this, right? 9 times out of 10, you probably wasn't born 30 years ago, right? Or you was probably still swimming around in your daddy's nutsack, right? Consider if your mama didn't swallow you. And I know that was fucked up that, but I'm just putting it out there, people. But just like I said, right? Anybody that's born from 1990, well, let's just say from 1992 up until now, right? Guess what? You don't know what the hell happened in 91. You wasn't around, so you don't know. So this is all brand new to y'all, right? But anybody that was born 1973 and earlier, and if you're still living, guess what? You've seen this before. Hell, depending on what you hell, this is probably your third time seeing the exact same shit. And I already know Biden actually came out and said, well, hey, this ain't about oil, this ain't about oil, this ain't about this, it ain't about that, it ain't about that. Then what the fuck is it for? What's going on? Right? Or is it just for the simple fact that Putin is actually really tired? If indeed that is Putin, because I didn't see a lot of videos where his own wife that said, hey, look, this motherfucker been dead for years. So the motherfucker that y'all think is Putin really ain't none of Putin. So all what I'm saying is this. And I already know what a lot of motherfuckers gonna say. Well, how can you say that when a lot of people done died? Okay. If indeed people died, right? All what the fuck you going off of only thing what you going off of is what Channel 33, oh my bad, CNN. That's all what the fuck you can say. They tell you, you believe it. And so now I know a lot of people go sit there and like, okay, well, what makes you any different than motherfucking CNN? Bitch, I'm not under contract. Right? I just look at it for what I see it. I look at how I see it. You know, just like I say, the economy ain't about shit. We already know why the economy ain't about shit. So this war kicks off, right? Just know that these motherfuckers already want to keep tabs on us any goddamn way, right? So with gas prices being like they are, depending on how long you've been out of a motherfucking job, you try to catch up on bills, gas is sky high. Depending on where, like I said, depending on where the fuck your job is and what other stuff that you have to do, guess what? You gonna have to fill up more than once throughout the course of the week because the gas is high as fuck. And then who's to say that the gas is not watered down, which is gonna cause you to go to the motherfucking gas station a hell of a lot quicker than what the fuck you've been going. So again, they got you in the bag. Either way it goes. Either way it goes, they got you. Right? If you give them the side booty, guess what? They got you. If you give it doggy style, they most definitely gonna get you. Or you up top. You counts Christmas. Because they ain't gonna do them put you in the huckabuck. Right? And then once it's all said and done, they made none on your stomach and on your ass. Say, hey, get the hell up. After they didn't promise you some bullshit. So, all of what I'm saying is this, people. Know what the fuck to look for. Know why it's happening. I mean, now, for the simple fact, is anything that we can actually do about it? Chances are we can't. Because, again, a lot of motherfuckers are scared, so they don't want to do anything. I had to excuse that's the wife. She get her stuff together. All right, so in our case, people just look at it like this, right? Every time I come on here, I try to put it out how I see it. Just like when I did the shit yesterday, right? It's almost like, okay, so where's the motherfucking freedom of speech at? Right? I can't say what the fuck I want to say. And if I can't say what the fuck I want to say, then goddamn it, it's not freedom of motherfucking speech. Right? And then it's just for the simple fact, if you got motherfucking soft skin, right? Then I really don't know what the fuck to tell you. Wipe the sand out of your sensitive areas, right? And drive the fuck home. Plain and simple, right? Because the only reason why a person or a group of people may act a certain way towards a certain word or phrase, right? 9 times out of 10, that's what the fuck you really are. So you just acted out your part. Plain and simple. You ain't got to make no law about this shit. Because people are going to say what they want to say when they want to see it and how they want to say it, right? It's up to you as the individual to be like, hey, I ain't none of that. But then at the same time, if that's what the fuck you portray, and you want to have motherfucking parades about the shit, then damn it, don't get mad because somebody actually really called you on what the fuck you really are. So with that being said, hey, guess what? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dad, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door across the street around the corner. Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Till next time.